Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the pilot episode of Fandom Trash Hunt, a series where I scour every corner of the internet for a weird, funny, or downright cringy post for your entertainment and my suffering. The name is kind of a work in progress, so if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or tweet them at me if you feel so inclined. But today we're going to be entering the Danganronpa fandom, as you can probably tell from the title, and a lot of this is just going to be Sans and Nagito. If you want to see any more videos of this fashion, be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Any advice, suggestions, or anything similar is welcome. And if you know the original posters of these images, please do not go harass them or anything. I don't mean to attack them in any way, shape, or form, and considering most of these images are satire, I genuinely don't think there's any harm in this. I'm a pretty casual Danganronpa fan myself, so I do know that there's a lot more stupid infighting within the fandom, mainly about if characters are gay or not, but that's not the flavor of awful we're going to be getting into today, so without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Okay, so before I get into the post, just a mild spoiler warning for later on in the video for Danganronpa 2, and also, I'm not going to be reading that one fanfiction. I know it's there. I don't want to look at it or acknowledge it, but anyways, here, first up, we're starting off very fresh, very great with Danganronpa, Sans, and Papyrus. I just love the little dents on their head. It's such a nice detail. I don't know why it's there. Maybe it's because they're supposed to be skeletons, but quite honestly, I feel like if they actually drew out the fucking realistic skeleton head, that would be kind of worse. I appreciate the circle tools on Papyrus's body compared to the level of detail and texture on the rest of it. Ears they just really make it. This is just a great way to start off the series, very indicative of what we're about to get into, aka a lot of Sans Undertale pictures. He just kind of wormed his way into this video like he always does, but anyways, here we have Teru as Sans Undertale, which is just great. He looks very menacing. This is quite a menacing image. I'm absolutely terrified. So here we have Five Nights at Freddy's, and of course, humanity cannot gain something without losing something in return, the law of equivalent exchange, and here we have Danganronpa. This is just great, and Family Guy. It's Danganronpa Family Guy. Holy shit, Peter Griffin, what are you doing here? I appreciate the signature. We can't let this work of art go uncredited. Lovely piece of work here. I love the fucking... This is unironically really good art, but just, man, why? What compelled you to make Danganronpa Peter Griffin? Here we have Kokichi getting arrested for various war crimes. I have no objection to this. Haul him away. And... can I show this on YouTube? I think I can show this on YouTube. There's nothing too graphic here, it's just Nagito looking a little dummy thick. Monokuma, I'm trying to find out who the traitor is, but I'm dummy thick and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting Hajime. Oh no, and then we have someone here. My mom refuses to touch Kamaida's ass, so when she uses the computer, she turns the mouse pad around like this. And first of all, I just have to say, props to you for being brave enough to not only put this in full view of your family, but actively put it somewhere where you know your mom is gonna use it. Like, I don't know what the fuck must be going through her head when she sees this, but man, I don't know. I can't decide whether this is horrible or commendable. And here we have Mpreg Sans Maida. I'm happy for them. You know what? This is just fine. This is cool. This is A-okay with me. The emojis just really make this picture. And then here we have a fanfiction cover, A Shit in the Dark. I want to read this fanfiction, sincerely. This sounds interesting. And here we have Kamaida with his tiggle bitties. I'm sorry, it's just kind of hard to take my eyes off your massive bosom, Mr. Kamaida. I'll return to gazing at your very pretty face. And then, this is from Kitty Dog. Thank you, Kitty Dog, for this wonderful image of two homies just sharing a smooch. There's nothing homosexual about this. Kissing your homies isn't gay. This is 100% heterosexual, platonic, male love for each other. Nothing about this is sus at all. No, and we have limbless Hajime. I completely forgot I put this in here. What is the purpose? What is the point of this? Who is deriving enjoyment out of this? This is so weird. Like, what is this? Huh? Don't boys who do as they're told get hung up by their sleeves? What the fuck is this, dude? Stop! Stop! Why? I don't even want to know why. I would rather remain blissfully ignorant than to know what compelled this person to make limbless Hajime. It's like a whole comic too. I don't want to read it. I don't want to know anything about it. I just hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, except I've already kind of broken the last one because I've spoken of this. But anyways, here we have this lovely decor, Sans throw pillow. This is the classiest thing you could possibly have in your house. If you have this, you're just the peak, the cream of the crop of society. Nothing can ever top this, and I kind of want to get one. We have the same design on some leggings, and for some reason the Danganronpa fandom loves putting characters on leggings. I have seen several just leggings full of characters, and it's so weird. Like, why leggings specifically? And Kibi. Yeah, let's say, hypothetically, a body has been discovered. You know what? I kind of want to see this crossover. Ben Shapiro Danganronpa, where he owns the liberals. Here we have Monami curb stomping a Monokuma. Just, you know what? Yeah, get his ass. And then he turns himself into a pickle. Funniest shit I've ever seen. I don't know what else to say of this one. I guess it makes sense. Kirigiri has a very high IQ, so it makes sense that she'd be a Rick and Morty fan. Kaka. I don't understand why this image is so funny. Like, every time I see it, it's just fucking hilarious. I don't get it. He's just bald. The Danganronpa fandom really likes making characters bald. Like, any character you can think of has been de-wigged. Continuing with the theme of baldness, we have Togami mourning the loss of his wig. R.I.P. Rest in poverty. I don't know, he's fucking rich. That doesn't make any sense. But here we have Nagito in a very classy shirt. I use the word classy a lot, but this is truly just the peak of fashion. I've have diarrhea and a boner. Here we have more Sans, except it's Nagito. It's a fusion. Their love for each other was just so fiery that their corporal beings just meshed into one so they can finally be together forever. This is beautiful. Finally, we have obese Nagito. I know it's an imposter edit, but I just find this so fucking funny. There are genuinely more images that I could have put in here that are like this, but in less of an innocent way, I guess. But YouTube doesn't like those images, so unfortunately we won't be suffering that much. And I do have a lot of kids watching, unfortunately, so it'd be kind of weird to show them that. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, that'll be doing it for the images, and let's just move on. 'Cause it's my movie, my superhero movie. It's all about me, yeah, it's all about me. It's my movie, my superhero. As will be customary to the series, I'm going to be reading a fanfiction. This one is surprisingly well written, and I am going to be trying to read it as seriously as I possibly can. It is called Nagito Kamaida Dies to Caramel Dancin', and here we go. Let's just get right into it. Kamaida walked into the warehouse with a determined look on his face. He knew what he had to do. He had the perfect gear for it too, a shirt with his beloved Sans-chan printed on it, multiple bagels on his fingers as rings, and cute blue Crocs with diamonds on them. If he was going to go out, he had to go out in style. He had to find the identity of the traitor and do something even better. He placed a Bluetooth speaker on the floor of the warehouse and pressed play. The tune of high-pitched sweetest girl singing filled him with determination. His boyfriend Sans would be so proud of him right now. Sans. The thought of his beloved caused a burst of harsh laughter to erupt from his chest. He gripped himself tightly with his hands as he tried to contain himself. Tears and beads of sweat streamed down his face. If he was this happy, it meant that his beloved Sans-kun Chan-san sensei was watching over him. How cute. Why, hello, Sans, he giggled under his breath. Are you here to help me fulfill my dream of infinite hope? One that can never be stopped no matter how much Monokuma kicks and screams? Sans didn't answer, but he knew that he still loved him. He was just a tsundere type. He was much better than his ex-Hajime, that little orange juice hoge fuckface. That little shitty, stupid, motherfucking, dumb, ugly, stupid little orange juice fucker with his horrible hoges. Who even wore their hair like that anymore? Kamaida hopes he dies a virgin. The beautiful melodies of Caramel Dancin' filled him with hope, and if he was going to die, he absolutely had to die listening to his favorite song. He hung the spear from the ceiling girder by its cord, the overwhelming urge to dance making his actions a little slower. The music was so loud it was a matter of time until the others came in, wondering what was going on, and forgive me for butchering this, I do not speak German, but Misa inte chansen nu RV har med Caramel Dancin ua. I'm sorry, I can't read that, but what a tune. He took a few bites of his bagel rings before he tied up his limbs and taped his mouth as to plan, which filled him with despair. How was he supposed to dance and sing to this global bop now? With one hand he left untied, he stabbed his arms and thighs multiple times with a knife he had. The only thing keeping him from crying and screaming in agony was that Swedish bop. He writes, I love you, Sans. XOXOXOX. Call me next week, babe. Make sure to bring the rest of the Undertale gang with you, winky face, onto the ground with the tip of the bloody knife knife on the floor. In beautiful cursive too. He wasn't that much of a worthless piece of trash that he couldn't have good handwriting. Hajime didn't have good handwriting at all, that little shitty orange juice. He propped the bloody knife onto the plushie and stabbed his hand, impaling the palm of his hand. Good, now he could finally fucking relax. Dansa med las klappa händer går som vi går. A tear slipped from his eye in awe. He had always loved the caramel girls, the ultimate symbol of hope in this world. The thick duct tape didn't stop him from belting out the lyrics at the top of his lungs. It only came out as muffled screams, to be honest, but why are you hating on him? He's trying his best, and he really couldn't sing that well because he was a worthless piece of trash that couldn't get anything right. But he didn't really care at this point. His legs shook not only from agonizing pain, but because the music was so good he couldn't stop himself from dancing a little. Sans liked his singing anyway. Komaeda could hear a fire roaring from the back of the warehouse. His plane was in motion. How the hell did this happen? He could hear Hajime scream in confusion, and what the hell is playing? He didn't realize that there were people in this world who didn't know the international beauty that was caramel dancing and the glory it brought, and the realization of this filled him with despair. But as always, his Swedish Koreans instilled hope in him again. Soon after, he could hear the fire-extinguishing grenades smashing on the floor. This was it. At last, he could be with Sans again. The poison sank to the floor, immediately vaporized due to the intense heat and spread everywhere. He pondered on his past life before the lethal vapor eventually surrounded him. He thought about Sans, bagels, the McDonald's he robbed at gunpoint 2 years ago, that time he read Harry Potter fanfiction, the time he played FNAF in his bedroom at 2:56 a.m., crying. He had lived a nice life. The poisonous traveled through his sinuses and his vision began to slowly fade. His life may have been slipping through his fingers, but the Swedish music still stayed, booming through the warehouse loudly. Dansa med los klappa händer går som vi går. When they said går som vi går, he felt that. He let go of the rope due to his muscles weakening, and the sharp sound of the spear falling down filled the room. A tear slipped from his eye, not because he was about to die, but because he could never hear caramel dancing again.
Bye now.
So yeah, that concludes the very first episode of Fandom Trash Hunt. The name is still a work in progress, as unfortunately the name I had picked out first turned out to be something that already existed, L for me, but yeah. If you have any ideas as to what I could name the series, I'd love to hear it. Leave it in the comments down below or just tweet at me because I'm more likely to see it there, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video and want to see it become a full series, be sure to smash like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I did make a promise that if I hit 50k, I will be dropping every single meme I've ever used for my video transitions and more. It would be super epic if we could hit that goal by the end of the year, and I also have commissions open in case you want to get one of those. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, or DeviantArt. Links will be in the description down below. Follow me there if you're just looking for some extra side content too, and with that, I'm out of here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.